Hi, welcome to the T-Shirt Teacher. Kristen Fruget here, published author, editor, and former high school English teacher. Today's episode, episode 7, is a very short episode, so just letting you know ahead of time, it's not going to be long. It's about first kills, and we talked a little bit about this at the end of episode 6. Whenever we find Coriolanus has to kill someone. And we'll start though with Hamlet. Hamlet accidentally kills Polonius. In Act 3, Scene 4, we see Hamlet and his mother speaking. Hamlet has agreed to go speak with his mother in her bedroom. And he has returned from not quite killing King Claudius because he's afraid if he kills him, he might go to heaven because he was praying when he came upon him. So, he goes to his mother's room, they're talking, and she says, "Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended." And Hamlet replies, "Mother, you have my father much offended." I can't argue with him there. He's saying, my real father, who is dead, you have offended him. And they are back and forth. She gets a little afraid. She thinks Hamlet's going to kill her, and she calls for help. "What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Help, ho!" And then from behind the curtains, remember Polonius is hiding behind the curtains, we hear, "What? Ho, help!" And Hamlet says, "How now, a rat? Dead for a ducat, dead." And he's like, "Ooh, this is my chance. I can kill the king." And he thrusts his rapier behind the curtain, which a rapier is a sword. And an arras, it says behind the arras, but that's the curtain. And then from behind the curtain, we hear, "Oh, I am slain!" And then the queen says, "Oh me, what hast thou done?" And Hamlet says, "Nay, I know not. Is it the king?" She says, "Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this." Hamlet says, "A bloody deed, almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother." And they go on back and forth, and Hamlet basically is like, "It's not my fault he was hiding there. I thought it was the king, and the king deserved it." And his mother has come to the conclusion that he's mad. He's crazy. Hamlet has lost his mind in her mind. So that is Hamlet's first kill. And we talked a little bit before about Coriolanus' first kill. And Coriolanus was sent into the arena to retrieve Sejanus, who was performing a burial ceremony or some sort of respectful homage to the dead from his district, that little boy Marcus that was sent into the arena and tortured horribly by the game makers themselves. But of course they don't show that because, again, it's all propaganda. Anyway, Coriolanus was sent in to retrieve Sejanus before anybody can see what happens, and he has to kill in self-defense. And Dr. Gall has basically told him that's human nature. It's not because you were put in that circumstance. And we talked about, he said that he wanted them dead, he wanted them all dead. We see that Hamlet shares a similar view. If we look back on his statements to Ophelia regarding all human beings being knaves, that was like a villain or a rascal in the language of the day. Basically, in the eyes of Coriolanus and Hamlet, everybody is selfish because they are selfish. They cannot seem to understand how someone would not be selfish because they themselves are so driven by revenge, by the need for power, the need for control. We see little to no remorse from either Hamlet or Coriolanus on their first kill. There's some shock, but it quickly wears off as they realize their means to an end has been delayed because of the nature of their kills. Because Coriolanus has had to go into the arena to retrieve Sejanus. And it's not so much that the game makers care that he killed one of the competitors, it's the fact that he's associated with Sejanus because they assumed they were friends. And Coriolanus knows that that is going to delay his political aspirations. With Hamlet killing Polonius, he knows there's going to be some repercussions, and he already knows that there are people all working against him, and he is very nervous that all the things that he needs to do are not going to get done because he has sworn that he is going to avenge his father's death. He's going to kill Claudius. That is his end goal. That's all Hamlet cares about. These two characters are very similar, especially as we draw further into their respective stories. We see their laser focus on revenge, Their views of humanity just continue to be very similar, and that they do not believe there is good in the world. All right, we'll see you next time on the T-Shirt Teacher. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And today's T-shirt, it's just a bird T-shirt. I have a fun little story about that. Back when I was teaching gifted Spark 5th graders, I wore a chicken shirt every Wednesday and did not realize it. And then they came to expect me to wear the chicken shirt every Wednesday. And they called it Bird Shirt Wednesday. For many years on Wednesdays, I've worn a bird shirt at multiple places. I don't always remember to do it, but it's something that it always makes me smile. So, happy Bird Shirt Wednesday. This may not be posted on a Wednesday, but it could be. Anyway, thank you for watching the T-Shirt Teacher, making formal learning more comfortable.